Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. To the principal proponent of the Quadcom, Honorable Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Dong Gonzales, Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez, Co-Chairman and Vice Chair of the Quadcom, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the 8th meeting of this joint committee. Today, as we continue our journey of uncovering the truth and seeking justice for victims of human rights violations committed by some rogue and misguided elements of the police in the guise of implementing the war on drugs, we shall be hearing testimonies of some of the victims, members of their families, and other witnesses who will recount to us their horrible experience and retell their painful stories. This time around, without fear and with renewed hope that Quadcom may be the instrument to find their closures and the justice that has eluded them for years. Inspired by the Quadcom success in the Barayuga murder case, other victims have decided to come forward to help us tell the nation and the world the evil that they have experienced. So that, just like in the Nuremberg trials of World War II atrocities, these horrible acts may not happen again. Their perpetrators brought to justice and laws may be amended, introduced, and crafted to guarantee these ends. Sa ating mga kababayan, sa lahat ng dako ng daigdig, hindi po natutulog ang hustisya. Gagawin po namin ang lahat ng aming makakaya upang magampanan ang aming tungkulin bilang mga mambabatas. Ipaglalaban namin ang lahat ng ating mga karapatan. Karapatang mabuhay ng tahimik, walang takot, malaya at may dignidad. Sa lahat po ng aming ginagawa, wala kaming gustong sirain at wakasan kundi ang pang-aabuso sa kapangyarihan, ang pagmamalabis, ang pangluloko at pagsasamantala ng mga dayuhan, pagnanakaw sa kaba ng bayan, pananakot at pagpatay ng walang katwiran o pagsasaalang-alang sa karapatang pantao kapalit ng pangakong salapi, promosyon sa posisyon o pagbabalik sa serbisyo. Ang mga pangakong ito at pabuya ang sumira ng mga institusyon. Paninindigan, dangal, paniniwala sa Diyos, relihiyon, pagpapahalaga sa kapwa at sa halaga ng buhay sa mga pamilya at nagpatibay ng maling paniniwala ng mga sangkot sa karumal-dumal na krimeng ito na ang kanilang ginagawa ay tama at ang kanilang pabuyang natatanggap ay kanilang premyo sa pagsunod sa mga utos ng nakatataas. Isang matinding kanser ng lipunan ang nangyari. Marami sa mga sangkot ay nagkamal ng limpak-limpak na salapi na siya ngayon nilang ginagamit upang patuloy na takutin ang mga biktima na para bagang walang katapusang kasamaan ang hanggang ngayon ay namamayani at naghahari sa ating bayan. Ang ibang mga abogado na may sinumpaang tungkulin na maghanap ng hustisya ay naging mga biktima, kasangkapan at kasangkot sa pag-aalipusta sa ating bayan. Sa ngayon, ang Quadcom ay nahaharap sa mga pagsubok. Nais na mga ibang nasasangkot na supilin at patahimikin ang ating pandinig. Sa Korte Suprema, may mga aksyon na nakabinbin kung saan ay hiniling ng mga nasasangkot at mga dayuhan na ipatigil ang ating pandinig o alisan ng kapangyarihan ang kumiting ito na humiling ng mga dokumento at paliwanag mula sa mga taong ito. Para sa kaalaman ng lahat, mismo ang ating saligang batas ang nagbigay ng kapangyarihan sa Kongreso na mag-imbestiga upang bumalangkas na mga batas na magbibigay proteksyon sa mga mamamayan laban sa mga masasamang gawain gaya ng mga nakita at napatunayan natin sa mga nakalipas nating mga pagdinig. Habang patuloy sila sa pagtanggi na sila ay kumita ng limpak-limpak, patuloy naman sila sa pagkuha ng serbisyo ng mga abogado na limpak-limpak din kung maningil. Paano nila nababayaran ang mga sangkatutak na abogadong ito? Sila na rin ang nagpapasinungaling sa kanilang mga sinabi rito. Mga minamahal naming mga kababayan, ano man po ang hadlang na itatapon sa amin, mananatili kaming tapat sa inyo. Makakaasa kayo na patuloy naming gagampanan ang aming tungkulin. Mananatiling bukas ang aming mga pintuan para sa inyo dito sa tinaguriang House of the People. We will continue to hear your stories, seek out justice and truth, and fight for your rights in the face of threats to suppress them. Together, we fight for dignity and honor. We can only craft protection if we know the truth. Those who violated our laws should be brought to justice. Salamat at magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. The next to deliver his opening remarks is our Chair of the Committee on Human Rights, Congressman Abante. You are recognized.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. My incredibly industrious co-chairs, our distinguished colleagues, resource persons and witnesses, mga kababayan, ang mga nanonood po ngayon na libu-libong mga kababayan natin dito po sa Quadcom hearing, tayo po nagsimula na ng ating Season 2 ng hearing na ito. At ang panimula ay tungkol po sa extrajudicial killings. Today, we continue the important work of the Quad Committee in seeking justice for the countless lives that have been affected and lost due to the evils of pogos, illegal drugs, and extrajudicial killings. But before I continue, I would like to acknowledge the members of the Quad Committee who have returned to work despite the ongoing House break, a time when many of our colleagues are filing their certificates of candidacy. This hearing was originally scheduled for October 17, but we move it up because the House of Representatives recognizes that justice cannot wait. The urgency of our work is clear. Those responsible for the violence and suffering we have uncovered must be held accountable. We must continue to be resolute in our quest for justice. Kahit na po dapat kami ay nandun na sa aming mga distrito upang kami magpakilala bilang mga kandidato rin naman. Andito kami upang ipagpatuloy po natin ang ating tinatawag na quest for justice. The Bible reminds us in Proverbs 21 verse number 15, and I quote, "It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity." Destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. End of quote. This passage, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, speaks of the righteous path of justice and the inevitable downfall of those who commit wrongdoing. It helps us to remember our duty in this committee to ensure that justice is served and that those responsible for violence, corruption, and extrajudicial killings will face the consequences of their actions. To all those who believe they can continue to evade the law, let me borrow the words of the late Mike Enriquez, "Hindi namin kayo tatantanan." Kaninang umaga, andun po kami sa bills and tawag doon, bills, records section. Kami po ay nag-file ng dalawang bill. Ito po ang House Bill number 10986 tungkol sa EJK at House Bill 10987 Anti-Offshore Gaming Operations Act. upang sabihin sa ating mga taong bayan na ang Quad Committee ito ay concerned in aid of legislations. Pero gusto ko rin pong bigyan ng babala ang mga tao na siyang guilty sa mga krimen na ito pang Quad Committee ay pwede rin namin gamitin in aid of prosecution. During this short pause in our hearings, this representation could not stop thinking about the information we have unearthed. We have heard in these hearings shocking examples of unexplained wealth. Ito po'y binanggit na sa inyo ng ating Quad Committee Chairman. Houses that cost millions of pesos, businesses bought and owned by those living on government salaries. This reminds me of the line that appears at the beginning of the book by Mario Puzo, the Godfather, attributed to the Honoré de Balzac. The quote is, "Behind every great fortune, there is a crime." The crimes we are investigating, however, go far beyond mere financial gain. They have resulted in the loss of life. I cannot fathom how those who have enriched themselves at the cost of the suffering of others can live with themselves knowing that their fortunes are built on the blood of their fellow citizens. How they can live lavishly knowing that their money is blood money. Hindi po kami ang Quadcom ang maghihiganti rito, kundi ang sabi po ng ating Panginoon, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, I will repay." Gagamitin po ng Diyos ang ating mga korte, ang ahensya ng gobyerno, mga law enforcement agencies. Gagamitin po ng Diyos ang taong bayan upang makita po natin na ang mga taong gumawa ng mga krimen na ito ay hindi maaaring makatakas. To these people and to those still in hiding, like Attorney Harry Roque, I say this: have the courage to face the consequences of your actions. It is better to stand and be judged than to live in the shadow of your wrongdoings. Maniwala po kayo, justice will catch up to you sooner or later. It is not a matter of if, but when. As we have always said, the time of reckoning has come. Mga kababayan, the House of Representatives will not rest until those responsible for these heinous crimes are caught, tried, convicted, and punished. We owe this to the victims, their families, and to every citizen who believes in the rule of law. Nandito po ang ating mga kamag-anak ng ating mga biktima na sila po ay nag-travel pa sa malayong lugar mula Cebu upang pumarito. Hindi na po sila pumasok sa trabaho upang idaing po nila ang mga injustices na nangyari sa kanila. We will not stop there. We will also ensure that the suffering we have witnessed will not be repeated. We are committed to putting in place safeguards and laws that will prevent such tragedies from happening again. Hindi ito pwede maulit muli. Justice may sometimes be delayed, but it will not be denied. With resolve, we will continue this fight until justice is finally served. Maraming salamat po.